I sent you something else for the show because I thought it was great. I've been on watching a lot of old movies lately, like I DVR'd. I've been burning up the old DVR movies.
Yep.
And I saw Johnny Mnemonic. Have you ever seen Johnny Mnemonic?
The prequel to The Matrix.
That's what I thought it would be, but it was a lot cheesier. And
well, they didn't have the money back then in 1992.
I still love how it was like 1994, it was during the time where they made all the crazy internet movies that didn't make sense about the internet.
Well, yeah.
Like they made Sandra Bullock's The Net, Hackers.
Like, you got to envision, how do we show the internet to the public? Well, listen, my idea is we're going to make a green train and we're going to film it in the subway, and that's going to represent information. So they'll fist fight on the information train, and they're like, perfect, that sounds just like the internet. Let's do that.
That is what they were doing, because in this Johnny Mnemonic, they put in the year's like 2025, and I love now that we're getting to the point where I can watch old future movies and I'm close to that future or past that future. Yeah. I love doing those kind of movies. So it's like 2025, I'm watching this. And then when he goes into the internet, he turns into like Max Headroom, and he's like walking around in the internet. And it's always funny to me the things that they don't realize that aren't going to be around anymore. Like they have these things called the low techs in the movie, and the low techs are against like technology and everything and fighting it. But the low techs keep breaking into they always do the like Big Brother thing where there's national TV. Everybody's watching the same show.
Right.
Pretty common in future movies. The low techs break into the future movies. And the thing that I thought, I bet they never even thought that wouldn't exist. Static. There was static every time they would cut in and out. I go, that's not even something that fucking exists.
No,
like the old
digital now,
static.
Bitches.
Yeah. Like the Poltergeist is the horrifying static TV, completely meaningless if I were to watch it with my daughter these days.
You got to think about the remake. Did they just have a blue screen and no sound?
I never saw the remake.
Neither did I.
I've got to watch it, I guess. But that's what it is. But yeah, so they would do that. And then on the same time where he would cut in with the static, Ice-T was the head of the low techs.
I'm looking at the IMDb right now. I didn't know Ice-T or Henry Rollins was part of this.
Oh, Henry Rollins is like the head hacker dude. He's this guy called Spider in the movie. And he's like weird because he's supposed to be, it's weird to see Henry Rollins supposed to be nerdy Henry Rollins because he's still a giant man who could fucking beat the shit out of anyone, you know? But he's like pushing up his glasses and doing, I'm sorry guys.
Give me 1 second, I'm hacking. 5 minutes tops. I got this, guys. Hurry, we need to get the system. I'm hurrying. This is as fast as I can hack.
I got to get on the information train and ride it down to the low information speedway.
They put up a trap. We got to back out, go another route, guys.
Yeah, there's a booby trap. I got to put the train in reverse and take it down a different track. Yeah, it's exactly what it was like. But another thing that they did in the movie, Ice-T comes on, static, appears for the message, and he goes, "You're going to want to set your VHSs for this one."
we became such an advanced society. We have flying cars and we can plug ourselves into the internet, but yet we haven't moved on from VHSs. Yeah,
it's just weird the things that you go like, because there's some things that you might just think at the time, well, that's as good as technology is going to get.
Yep.
And apparently when VHS came out, we were like,
hold on. I'm sending you a fax right now. Calm down.
No, they did. You're right. They faxed in this movie too. He had to fax information to another place in this movie. I forgot about that. And I went, holy, like to this day, actually, I won't lie though. The fax is still around. And every time I send a fax, I go, why is this still a thing? Why am I still doing this? You know, like in the day and age of fucking email and PDFs.
Well, and
why do I still fax? Multiple
the fax
times
is
a day?
over like 100 and some odd years old. Like Abraham Lincoln faxed things.
Yeah, apparently it lasts. Apparently that was a technology that just won't fucking die. Is the fax? But
so anyway, yeah, Johnny Mnemonic.
So I sent you because so most future movies, they set it up at the beginning, opening credits. They set up, here's crazy future movie. And they give you a sense of what the world's like now. This is the most gobbledygook fucking
so this is
like word salad shit.
This is the slow credits in the beginning of Star Wars. Like In a galaxy far, far away, there is a princess fighting the evil galactic empire who has information. And now here we go, because now we caught you up.
Exactly. I had to send this to you and have you read it because I've read it. And when I was watching the movie, like after it scrolled through, I went, well, I don't know what any of that means. That's just like, it really was like people were just like, let me put in a smart word here. Let me put in a funny future sounding term here. It makes, to me, it's gobbledygook word salad shit. So I was just like, well, I guess I'll figure out what this movie's about. It was fucking the worst opening credits I've ever read. So I wanted to send them to you and see what you thought of them. So I sent them over. I don't know if you got them or not.
Yep. Second decade of the 21st century. Corporations rule. Hold on. What is the second decade? I guess that'd be year 20?
Yeah, it's 2025. So yeah.
Okay. Corporations rule. The world is threatened by a new plague. I guess NAS or NAS? Which one is that? NAS or NAS?
I think it's supposed to be NAS. It's supposed to stand for something, yeah.
Oh, okay, we go on. Nerve attenuation syndrome. Fatal, but epidemic.
That's already, when I first read that, I went, well, that's three meaningless fucking words strung together.
Well, that means your nerves are tuned into a frequency, and it's a syndrome. It happens.
Okay, it's already, that sounded like bullshit to me. But keep
Fatal,
going.
epidemic. Its cause and cure are unknown. The corporations are opposed by the low-techs, spelled all weird in 90s way. LOT8KES.
Oh yeah, they thought they were really fucking hip with the low techs.
A resistance movement risen from the streets. Hackers, data pirates, guerrilla fighters in the info wars. So all
right, already that's a thing like data pirates. I think that they thought that was going to be a term.
That's kind of a thing. Like hackers, data pirates, and guerrilla fight. I mean, I guess like we have Anonymous today, and
they don't call them fucking data pirates.
Well, that's essentially what they are, though.
No, that's fine. It describes what they want to be. It's not a term that caught on.
No.
Like
give the people credit. They saw this eventuality coming. They just didn't know what to call it.
And then there was another thing in there that you said. What was it?
What catches me is that it's resistance from the streets, as though like your local crack dealers and, like bodega owners are gathering together at night to do like internet crime.
Well, and also it talks about like corporations running everything. You never see any corporations in this movie, but I knew that
there's
after.
Never Walmarts or fucking like Barnes and Nobles.
No, it's all fucking like
just guys
warehouses.
in suits versus guys with weird pink mohawks and leather jackets.
They filmed this movie on $30 and they had a warehouse for a weekend. That's how they did this movie. But all right, keep going. I'm sorry. There was another thing in there that you said that I was trying to think I had a comment on.
The corporations defend themselves. They hire the Yakuza.
All right, already. That right there. I was even like, why are they hiring the fucking Yakuza?
What is it? Is it because they're Asian? Is this some kind of weird, like built-in stereotype racism? Like Japanese
like it definitely was an excuse to put it was definitely an excuse to let Keanu Reeves do Kung Fu. Like for sure. But it was just like that right there. I already read that and I was like, why is the Yakuza involved in this?
Well, he says it right in the next line. Obviously, they hire the Yakuza, the most powerful of all the crime syndicates. So why the Yakuza? Because they're the most powerful.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. They sheath their data in black ice. Lethal viruses waiting to burn the brains of intruders. I don't even know why I keep starting the music. They sheath their data in black ice.
There he goes.
A lethal virus waiting to burn the brains of the intruders.
Do you see what I'm saying now? Like that's fucking just words put together. That's not a real thing.
Well, okay. Now put this in the frame of the prequel. This is before the Matrix happens.
No, no one knew the fucking Matrix was going to exist.
No,
and Johnny Mnemonic is not the fucking
where you're part of the program. You're part of the computer system that is like the entirety, one of the many. And if you stumble into shit you're not supposed to know about, the computers in the Matrix would have written a virus to just off your That's why people in the Matrix have accidents. They learn something.
Okay, but again, as much as you want this to be the prequel to The Matrix, this is a standalone film. And they did not know The Matrix was going to happen when they fucking wrote this. You're just a dude who just sat down to watch a movie and you just heard the sentence, say whatever the fuck you just said again?
They sheath their data in black ice. Lethal viruses waiting to burn the brains of the intruders.
And you're just going like literally you're going, I don't know what the fuck that means, but that sounds like technology. That sounds like the future. That's what you're saying there.
But the low-techs wait in their strongholds, in the old city cores, like rats in the walls of the world. Somebody's child got poetic. The low-techs wait in their strongholds, in the city cores, like rats in the walls of the world. I don't even... I don't know what to say here because so far I know people can plug their head into the computer. The corporations.
Well, how do you even know that? Like, how do you know people can plug? Because I didn't even get that till you haven't read it yet. The last line's where I figured that out.
Burn the brains of the intruders. Obviously, they got to be connected somehow to their brains. So they're in the gritty downtown, like they're in downtown Detroit. In some
New Jersey, Newark, New. By the way, this takes place in Newark, New Jersey.
Okay, so Newark is a bad place. I mean, that's probably worse than Detroit, to be honest. And so they're in a burned out gas station, plugging in to the internet. I assume by like 10-pin connectors where they got to screw the two little screws in, and they're hacking like rats of the world.
And it never really shows how they get to the internet because all it shows, they call the place heaven. And all it is heaven is a series of console TVs stacked on top of each other as high as the eye can see. And you go like, how is that the internet? It's just a fucking shitload of TVs like stacked up like junk, like really high. I get it. It's like really high. It's like a tower of TVs.
That's a lot. Yeah. If I was there, I'd say that's a lot of TVs, but still doesn't make any sense, guys. Internet. So, Al Gore. Anyway. This is all Al Gore approved. He was the one on set being like, yes, that's what the internet looks like. Just get a lot, get a lot of VHS. Yes. By the way, I'm vice president, guys.
We need more VHS in this scene. You need to say fax machine 5 more times. Fax is the longest lasting technology.
The future. I'm telling you now, boys. The fax will take us places.
If we would only fax more, we would have a smaller carbon footprint and we could save the climate from the low-techs and preserve the corporations.
Trust me, it all makes sense.
What's that sentence? Give me what's the shitty sentence again? The really bad one? Do it.
How about this, guys? They sheath their data in black ice. Lethal viruses waiting to burn the brains of the intruders.
That's it.
Oh, and this is one you'll love this. My son wrote this last night. But the low-techs, they wait in their strongholds in the old city cores like rats in the walls of the world. That's my favorite part.
That's it right there. You just got to follow the bouncing ball.
He went all Alabama on that shit, even though he's from Tennessee.
We're
not done yet.
So we're almost to the end. Where are we at? Yeah, there's more. There's still more.
The most valuable information must sometimes be entrusted to mnemonic couriers, elite agents who smuggle data in wet, wired brain implants. And that's where we end. And
that's it. So like already see like that, like it's still like, don't you think like after that sentence, it kind of left you thinking there should be like one more sentence, right? Yeah. Like there should be.
So I want to summarize this. So in the year XXXVXXV-1, corporations rule, but they're not anything you've ever heard of. There's some weird disease that makes you really, like itchy. And
also right after it says there's a weird disease, it goes, we don't know what it is, what causes it, or what cures it. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
We just came up with.
In this world, for some reason, everybody's really itchy.
Yeah.
Like it's honestly because there were fleas on set But, you know,
I mean, they
we
could
just
have at
explained
least
that away.
related it to the fucking, like everybody's brains being plugged
Yeah.
into shit. You know, they could have done that.
So anyway, so where there are corporations in rural, there's also a bunch of guys hacking at gas stations in your local 7-Eleven via the old arcade games. And so from there, the corporations, for whatever fucking reason, decide to defend themselves. And out of nowhere, Yakuza, motherfuckers, here we come. And then, you know, they're just throwing shit at the fucking story. Like a bunch of fucking like teenage interns wrote this son of a bitch.
Well, I get the impression that the movie came out on Friday and then he forgot to do the opening credits until like Thursday. And he was like, fine, I gotta fucking type it.
Well, yeah.
Space ninjas, future shit. Type it up. Let's go.
You know, to continue on here, though, this is where, we need a second disease. You know, not that NAS is enough and because we just dropped the bomb on a weird itching disease. We also have black ice, which infects people's, you know, cerebellums and whatnot.
And I don't even think, actually, I'm thinking of the movie right now. Two things that stick out to me as I think about the movie. One, I don't think black ice ever appears. NOS is in the movie. There's some people that have NOS. And as weird as it is, you said itchy syndrome. It really seems to be that the only cause of NOS or NAS or whatever it is shaky hands. Because that's how they tell if you have it or not. They have you hold your hand out.
That's a symptom of cannibalism.
Yeah. What, shaky hands?
Yeah, it really is, honestly. I was reading something about all these weird like diseases you can get from like if you only eat rabbit or you only eat like dog or whatever. Mm-hmm. You get weird symptoms, and they say part of cannibalism, if all you're eating is human meat, you get the weird like shaky rickets or something.
So that's essentially what NOS is. You get cannibalism disease.
Yeah.
Okay. But there is no black ice in the movie, and also the low-techs use a fucking shitload of technology in this movie. I don't think that's
the next line. You know, in the synopsis here is the low-techs live in a gas station down by the river, but yet they have an entire wall of TVs, all the electricity they need, and a way to hook up to the internet the same way as the corporations do.
And I haven't even mentioned this. And a dolphin with a fucking mind meld helmet on.
They have a dolphin?
Yeah, there's a scene in the movie where they fucking use the dolphin to download, like Keanu Reeves has this thing in his head, which is the cure for NOS. And they download that into the head of a dolphin so that he can get the gigabytes. He can clear the gigabytes.
So out of nowhere, like, I've got to get this information to the people that need it, and I'm going to go do this. And so he downloads it into his brain, and it's all action and kung fu and Yakuza. And then he's like, hey, Spider, I need to get this information out of my head. And Spider's like, hold on, let me hack it up. And he's typing, and then all of a sudden he's like, okay, I've connected you to Flippy. And he hits the go button, and it's one cut to a dolphin, and that's the only explanation of the dolphin in the whole fucking film.
Have you seen this movie?
No,
I feel like you've seen this movie.
Is that
You just described this movie. Spider was like, "Hey, we got to get clear the gigabytes from your brain. I know where there's a dolphin, and let me hack into his brain." Fucking boom. You dude, I swear to God, you couldn't have described that scene more accurately for somebody who's never seen the movie Johnny Mnemonic. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, I'm just making this up in my mind, but I can see it cut. Like, we need to download the files. We'll use Flippy. And then it's just like a cut to a still picture of a dolphin with somebody drawing like a weird helmet on it in a cartoon. And then that's it. And then you cut back to like him, like Johnny Mnemonic or fucking Kevin Bacon, what the fuck's his name? Keanu Reeves sitting there like shaking like it's a big process. And then the dolphin picture shaking. And that's the whole scene.
I kind of feel like you put more thought into your having the dolphin appear than even the writers did. Like, I feel like you probably just thought that through more than they did when they were fucking writing the script. Like, fucking ninjas, wet wire brain, fucking space Yakuza. What else do we need? Dolphins. Fucking dolphins. Put a dolphin in.
Hey, I know a guy, my buddy down the street. Yeah, he's got a dolphin. Well, get it. Let's do a dolphin. Fuck yeah.
Let's do a dolphin, dude. It's fucking crazy.
And again, because even though we just read through this, the most valuable information must be entrusted to the bike couriers. So basically, the guy on the bicycle driving through the streets, hey, we can only trust this, like the nuclear codes to this guy, put him in his brain. And
those people also seem like minimum wage employees, because at some point Keanu Reeves wants to not do this because it's painful and it sucks, and you're like a essentially the drug mule of the information superhighway.
Stick it in his ass.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, man.
No,
It's a
that's
weird
where
movie.
to be eco-friendly, this is where we like to stick our information. I send Bill faxes all the time up Jeremiah's ass just because I know it's safe. Jeremiah's a trustworthy carrier, and he's real good on that bicycle. I've seen him.
I believe that faxes are the future.